Hello, friends. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome as I sit here and adjust my microphone in my chair after I go live instead of before. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good, what day is it, Wednesday? I just watched the Artemis 2 mission lift off while I was recording a video for the channel here. But I did pause to take a moment to do that. I thought it was pretty neat to be able to witness that via live stream. But here we are on this planet with its very strange setup here. Today's goal is to start getting steel working. And since it is April 1st, the Satisfactory devs usually do some April Fool's things. I think the last couple of years they made the lizard doggos huge, and they made the giraffe penguin space whale tick things really small. But we're gonna see what happens. Oh my! Look at these guys; they're huge. My God, Gary, look at you. Look at you. So Gary 2 has nothing. Gary 1 has nothing. I'm not expecting these guys to have anything because we're very, very close to when I would have gotten something from them before. Now I have to be able to actually... Oh! Gary 3 has some steel pipes for us. Thank you, Gary 3. Gary 4 has nothing. Alright, so we've completed our tour of the enormous Garys. We have this thing come back. We need to select our next, what do you call it? Very technical term, that. Yeah, that was, I think, jump pads that I researched. So all we have left now is Tier 4, which is blueprints, Mark 3 logistics, advanced steel production, advanced expanded power infrastructure, and hypertubes. It should come as absolutely no surprise. I will want to do blueprints first, so that's what we're going to do. And we've got just about all of what we need. I don't remember if I have the modular frames still being produced over here or not. So I'm going to give this a look-see. No, that's making rotors. I need that to be making modular frames. Although, you know, having rotors is a very good thing. We will need those. Just swap those real quick. Let's change this over. It's not going to be, you know, permanently forever what this is, but I'll just manually feed this reinforced iron plate. I think that'll be fine. Manually feed it some rods. And we'll just let this be what it's going to be. In the meantime, let's come over here to the copper area, grab some cables, and then go on about our business. So we should have... yeah, almost enough cable to just do this all in one go. Don't worry, this is going to be completely redone at some point. I don't know about today necessarily, but at some point we will do that. Since we are here, let's grab some more concrete. I always like to have a couple stacks of that on me. Let's go for 1,000, should be fine. And yeah, so we do have a little bit before we can get into blueprints. And the reason I want to do blueprints before I start building a steel factory is once we can blueprint a pretty efficient prototype design for different clusters of machines, it's going to be so much easier for us to do what we got to do. Okay. Josh has jokes today. Oh man, somebody left a really funny comment that, I don't know, depending on what people have gone through in their lives, it might actually be offensive, so I won't read it out loud. But somebody left a comment that was at my expense on one of my videos that made me laugh. So I appreciate the good-natured humor, at least. Let's see, this is... oh, that's not the one I wanted. Yeah, okay, I need another 41 modular frames. But I remember we went exploring for stuff last episode. Did I ever get this one? I think I did. The needs 120 megawatts thing. I think I can remove this, but we'll go check on that later. We have Sam Orr over there. We are still doing research on that. I believe somewhere over here there's... I know we have the coal right here. But I want to say there's a couple other coal nodes, and then they're close to some iron. So that is, you know, that's an advantageous thing for us to get to. But also, consider, if we have alternate recipes, there is a way, I forget exactly what it's called, Is it solid steel ingots or something? That cuts out one of the steps for producing steel that could be very, very good for us to have. So let's take a look at the map. I do have a couple bolted frame, bolted iron plate. I was trying to decide which of these would be better. But I think what's going to have to happen here is I'm going to leave this in place because now what's happened is both of these recipes have been removed from the pool that you will get when you scan the hard drive. So, if we don't do anything with this right now, the next hard drive that we scan will not have these, and will not have any of the other ones we've already unlocked. So there is somewhat of an advantage if you don't need a recipe right away to leave this. So I kind of want to go hard drive hunting a little bit. But I also realize that now I've unlocked so many of these tiers that maybe we kind of shot ourselves in the foot in terms of having access to that early enough. I don't know. We'll see. We'll grab that. I'm going to leave all these things running. This is why this is a good time to do this. But I need to make sure I've got some stuff for my ranged weapons, which I do. So I got ranged weapon, melee weapon. I got my scanner that I can't actually scan for hard drives, so that's not really that helpful. But I got my legs. That's good. Got a chainsaw, got some food. And there is, I believe, in my tractor, which is all the way over here because I had to babysit those idiots. I believe there is some fuel in there. Yes, it is very easy for us to go and find more hard drives. I just don't know off the top of my head exactly where they all are. But this region, the Rocky Desert, does have several that we have not found yet. I will admit this is probably one of the least played areas in my history with the game. Northern Forest probably being the most unplayed, or I guess least played. Okay, good. I've got plenty of that ready to go. I want to drive this thing. I don't want to get in the crafting bench. There we go. Oh, yeah, look at her head. Her head's huge. Can I get this to go across here without exploding? Survey says yes. So I want to go up this way. Remember, we can't be killed while we're in the tractor. So I think this is probably the best. Look how huge that guy is. Also, those guys get reskinned. So they got weird bipedal legs or whatever. I don't know. The April Fool's stuff for Satisfactory is always funny. Because it's not like stupid, brainless humor. It's not AI garbage. It's just, hey, this is really weird. We thought this would be fun. So now, we've got a Mercer Sphere in this weird, super huge thing. And I've got those guys right there I'm not going to want to mess with. So let's back up to where this isn't going to activate. And I guess we're just going to make our way over there very, very slowly. Why are they big? Yep, April Fools. Yeah, let's just whack this thing, grab that Mercer Sphere, continue about our business. Very slowly. But I do think it would be a good idea to go check out that other coal spot and along the way look for hard drives and other things of interest. Alright, so that's done. And Mercer Sphere.
We hum a simple melody into the effigy, yet we hear no harmony. It covers the temple in bones and organs and limbs, yet ignores our bleeding wounds. Scripture is needed. Consume.
A familiar pattern is emerging in your brain. Please assess yourself for signs of concussion. If necessary, a replacement pioneer will be dispatched. Work must continue. Replacement delivery schedule estimate. Error, years.
Alright, I think I should be able to drive across that. Consume. Yes. At some point I decided to give myself a leg up on the map and loaded my safe into the calculator website and showed them all on the map. Yeah, I know you can do that. And I think I'd personally like to avoid doing... Look how tiny this guy is. Guess what we get to do? Boing. Oh, I missed. It's a lot harder when he's small. Come on. Alright, that's enough fun. So we're generally heading north, keeping a lookout for stuff we might want to see. Big old lizard doggo. There's a lot of water over here, so if we did want to set up another coal plant or something, we could. Probably by the time we actually would need another coal plant, we're not going to need coal for power anymore. Just from having everything else ready to go. I know the crash sites usually end up kind of high in a lot of these areas. So let's see if I can get this thing around in a way where I don't have to build bridges everywhere. Alright, that worked. Kind of. Okay, we got another Mercer Sphere over here. We got a spitter. We've got 2 of those things. I don't know if this is like an alpha spitter and they just made him small or what, but I think we're going to want to pick this guy off from a distance, especially because we have the flying nonsense. No, so the doggos actually can't escape. It just makes the model bigger, but it doesn't actually change the collision. So it's just going to display huge. That's it. I would collect more doggos from over here, except it's a huge pain to get them over back to the area that we're working in, and I kind of don't want to deal with that right now. So, I know I can't sneak for the spitter, but I can sneak this thing. And if I can get at least one of these down before that spitter starts attacking me, that'll be a lot better. Wait, this died? Because I hit it with the car? It didn't used to do that. Okay, they must have changed that. Well, that's a good thing. Now I've got that done. I got that done. Let's grab this. I guess yeah, we can tame them. Except I'm going to forget who's who. All right, so now I have another Mercer Sphere. Now I'm going to have quartz, and that's great to have that early.
Unknown crystalline mineral collected. This mineral is composed of the same chemical elements as quartz and may yield similar industrial functions. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
Now, can I get past this area? And is there anything worth getting over here? Okay, I can't drive any further. Why did this decide to back up over the... whatever. Trying not to get this thing destroyed here. It is very annoying to pick up stuff from the bottom of the seafloor if you crash one of these into the ocean. I cannot get the... can I get... really? I cannot get this thing up this hill, so I think we're going to have to go around. I'm going to grab as much quartz as I can while I can, because it's great to have that early. Back in we go. We don't want to take too long either, because I do want to get the blueprints unlocked. But if we can find anything, then, you know, it's worth our while. Alright, do we see over here... I can't use the photo mode while I'm in the car. I don't see any crash site. How much train talk did you miss? Absolutely none, actually. Alright, so it looks like we got limestone up here. That's good. We're going to want to have that near where our steel is so that we can do reinforced beams or whatever they're called. I don't see anything else up here. Is this a pure limestone node? Because it's got these two next to it. That makes me think that's one of those things where we might actually want to take notice of this. Alright, so now I guess I just have to go kill these things before it becomes a problem. Except I can't... I'm hidden. You didn't see me even though I was jumping. I don't think I have anything to build a miner yet. We'll take a look. It is a pure node. Cool. We will mark that on the map when I'm done with this. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to put in, I guess I'll just pop that right here. That's fine. That'll remind me that I got limestone up here. What can I actually scan for? I always forget. Mercer sphere, barrel nut, mushroom, summer sloop, power slug. Don't have hard drives yet. That is a, that's a different thing. Now, it's too bad I can't have this equipped and also be driving and have it beep at me. That'd be great. But the game does not see fit to allow me to do that, so... going north again, we can go up this ramp. And that gets us to a copper node. Any baddies up here we don't want to mess with? I don't see any. Is this a pure node? It is impure. Okay, well that's not ideal. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Anything else over here? Can we see anything? That's where we were. I think that was the other thing. Okay, so this is actually... Okay, that's coal. This might actually be exactly what we want if there's iron over here. Let's do a scan. Okay, we've got him 200 meters that way. Yeah, it's picking up those behind. There's nothing else over here. We'll get that power slug. Let's check and see coal here. If it's just that one, I know there's two. Alright, so the map's going to tell us impure, impure, normal, and normal up there. And that is concrete. Limestone, I'm sorry. Wait, what? I was just saying it mocking because I was being sarcastic, but it's actually been it's been changed in the game. Limestone, all of these except coal. Gtmonica more. All right, now I've derailed myself. Oh, it's a pure node. Okay, that's worth noting. That's also a pure node. Okay, well that's exciting because now I have an incentive to come over here. I think the oil is further south that way and then further east this way. We'll check in a minute. Yeah, that's another coal thing. That could be one of the normal ones. But I know there's coal there, there's coal there, there's coal there, and then I think down here there's another one. It's kind of limited the amount that we can see here. There's a lot of space to build a factory there if we wanted to. Yes, I was going to shoot you a message about that, Mike. I do have that email pulled up so I don't forget. I've had a crazy last couple of months, and finding completely unobstructed time has been hard. That I haven't also immediately needed to fill with streaming or making videos. I'll try to... Hey, look what we just found. Try to get back to you hopefully soon. Forced by parent or spouse? No. Forced by me having to pay my bills. So, can I kill this thing? Because this is a big one. Can I just kill it by running over it? Because if that's the case... No, I cannot. Oh, it's moving me backwards. Okay, well... Okay, mistakes may have been made. Okay, is that dead? Okay, there's still one of these. No, 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 no. You're not allowed to kill me. I'm not allowed to die. I have plot armor. Force bitter remains. That is lagging like a you-know-what. Why is this lagging so bad? What have I done? I'm concerned. 100 megawatts. Okay, that was very weird. There's some good stuff on the ground, though. Can I make 100 megawatts easily? That's 4 biomass burners. Unless I overclock them. Can I overclock biomass burners? Well, only one way to find out. I don't... That is the console. I don't want that. Get out of here. No, no. There we go. No way. No way is that this easy. No. Okay, let's go to here and let's make some power shards. So if I have 3 of these, 2 overclocked and 1 normal, will be enough to get me 100 megawatts just really, really fast. I don't have iron rods. Nope. I don't have iron rods. Do I have iron ingots to craft iron rods? I do not. I do not even have iron ore. Can't disassemble the screws. You know what that means? It means it's time to go for a walk. And by a walk, I mean get... No, I'm not going to get back in the car. That's a pain. We'll just go up this way. I have to manually harvest iron so that I can do what I've got. Oh, this is actually going to be a huge pain in the butt. Can I remember how to get back up here? Well, it's fine. This guy is walking around, so you know this has to be worth something. Okay, so that's pure iron. That's good. That means it's going to take less time. I am not putting my taxes on a credit card. That is a horrible idea. But that is a substantially lower processing fee than most places. I have not researched batteries yet. Alright, so how much do I have now? I've got 50. That's not enough. Yeah, if you have a credit card that has no interest for the introductory period and has good points rewards, and you know you can pay it off before it hits interest, that would be a viable option. I have gamed credit card rewards for various purchases before. It ends up being really nice. But it's also easy to get into dangerous situations with that kind of stuff. I don't think we need to have too much more of this. I just don't want to have to come back. Alright, so since we are over here, I'm going to mark this on the map as pure iron nodes. Do we have a better icon for this? I guess we'll just do we'll do the check mark. That's good to know that that's there. Now to get back to where I wanted to go. That is on the other side. I'm going to have to go... Yeah, I'm going to have to go back this way. Yeah, most credit card interest rates these days are quite high, no matter what your credit score is. Unless you have an old card you've kept forever that had something lower. But I digress. Now we have the incredible opportunity to do something very stupid. And by stupid, I mean actually smart. So let's make some iron ingots. Then I do need to have another 20 or 30 iron rods. Yeah, if you know how to play by the rules and you can do it in a way that benefits you without just extreme debt burdening you, then yeah, there's a lot of good you can do with those kind of cards, but you really need to be careful. Alright, so is this one overclocked? It did automatically consume that, so now that's 45, that's another 45, that's 90. I just need to make one more. I need 2 more of these to become iron rods. I'll just make a couple more of these just so I don't have to worry about it later. And now I just need a power pole. Get this hooked up, get that hooked up, get that hooked up. I don't have daisy chaining yet, in case you were wondering. That goes in there. I have biofuel. I just need 3 stacks. Doesn't matter how long this runs, because it's only going to have to be for just enough to get this open. And on. And open. Grab this thing and immediately dismantle it. All of these things get my materials back. And then we have these crash site debris here. Got that there. A couple more pieces. And then we will pick up all the straggling things on the ground. I think we're going to be in good shape, folks. That is the wrong button. Good job. Steel pipe. Hatcher remains. Stators. Reinforced iron plates. Encased industrial beams. 85. That's a good amount. And do we see any other straggling pieces of equipment or parts? I don't, so I think that was a successful operation. Let's build a MAM and get this hard drive research started. See if we can get... Remember, we're looking for solid steel. That is what I am attempting to get. So... we are up here. We can go back here a little bit. I think might be a smart idea. Down here, we've got a lot of good stuff, maybe for steel later. But for now, we want to go around to the north, which yeah, I'm going to have to go this way. There's a cave down there. It's probably got some kitties in it. Let's hop out and take a look. Yeah, I hear them. Way down there. There's a power slug. I don't see any stuff. So I think we can leave that alone for now. Okay, that's a power slug that's worth grabbing. Okay, there's some kitties down there. Let's avoid those. We've got gas over here. And that seems like a very specifically designed space over there. Let's get out and see what's over here, unless it's just the edge of the world. Yeah, so we have some water available. Oh, that's a geyser. Is that for water or is that for nitrogen? I can't scan for it yet. It makes me feel like it's going to be nitrogen because it's got a build-up there, but that's good to know. That's a... I think that's a power slug? Yes. Alright, plenty of gas down there. Gas over there. No nodes, but let's scan since we're already here. Okay, that's behind us. I was looking for... We already know about those. So if that's the only ones that are over here, normal node, pure iron over here. So having normal... Yeah, that's all the way over there. Having pure iron is very useful if we need iron to make all this stuff. If we can make it without having to have too many different materials, that would be good. That's why I really hope I can get the solid steel one. Let's drive across. Where's my car? There it is. Let's drive across this thing here, see what's on the other side. Maybe start making our way back to the base in a little bit. Because we do still have to research blueprints and get that up and running. Yeah, see, this is all pretty unusable space because of the gas. But we get across here. I'm very interested to see what's up above. I see something that could possibly be a crash site. Let's make our way up here. Can I get up here? No crash site, huh? Well, there's a slug at least, so we'll grab that. Alright, this is a good vantage point. But I don't know that I can really see much from here. Looking on the map, this is probably equidistant between the coal here and the coal there. Let's scan for oil. Never mind, I can't scan for oil. But I can scan for the coal to reorient myself. Maybe. Yeah, that's all over there. Normal, 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 and normal. In addition to all the stuff we have going over here. Alright, so yeah, there's not really anything for us over here. Let's just make sure we haven't missed any of the what do you call them? Crash sites. I don't see any up here. Well, it's worth checking out. Come down here. Alright, so we got this guy here that I missed being able to just run over. Let's do that real quick. Alright, that was easy. Let's get out and grab the, where is it? There it is. Power slug. Alright. Grab those things. I'm starting to run out of space. Yeah, we're still kind of in uncharted territory here. That is not where I wanted to go. Now, going further east could be worthwhile, so we'll climb up this. I see sulfur. Hey, there's a crash site down there. Let's grab the sulfur while we're up here. Alright, that was worth getting. That is a Mercer sphere. Let's do that before we get too excited here. Yeah, I'm gonna free up some slots. Also, the tractor has storage. So we just have to be able to put stuff in there. This can go up slopes decently well. So we've got that going for us, which is nice. Anybody's up here? Hello? Goodbye.
Live, laugh, consume. Our blood could fill the effigy veins for a respite song. Scripture becomes harmony, becomes composition. Defile our temple, and the threads will sew the windows open.
Pattern analysis continuing. New instruction. Repeat pioneer exposure to alien artifacts. Brain damage compensation packages may be available on successful completion of a special claims form. Our expert Fix-It medical staff are impartial and always open to assess your claim.
Alright, now let's go back down here and grab that crash site. Way down here. Alright, so we have an alpha hog. We got 2 of those stupid things. That's Bouncy Boy. So I think it's going to be worth my time to try and snipe this guy. At least damage him before he comes and charges at me. I don't want to set off the alien bee things. I don't know why he isn't moving. Like, I clearly aggroed him, but I'm not going to complain if he's just cut on that rock. Now, is that dead? Looks like it is. Alright. So away we go. I have not read chat in a long time, so if you ask me questions, it will have to wait until I take care of this. But I will get back to you on that. Okay, I see some stuff sticking out of the ground that I'm going to want to grab. Alright, that guy, and then let's mosey on over to the other side here. Hopefully this one doesn't require power. Although power is one of the easier ones to fulfill, you just have to carry around all the garbage for it. Okay, so that's looking good. We've got steel pipes, we've got reinforced iron plates, we've got more steel pipes. I have filled up all of my slots. We'll have to do something about that. What do you need? Oh, nothing. Oh, it was the 10 copper. Okay, I cannot pick that up because I have to find room. Okay, let's deposit these. Make just a little bit more space. Where's my plasma spitter stuff? I got 20 of those. All right. So we can grab the hard drive. We can't finish it, or we can't get it processed until the other one's done. But we can pick up the pieces here. Wow, that was conveniently timed. All right, let's just clean this up first, and then we'll check out and see what kind of a thing we've got here. I've got encased industrial beams. I've got reinforced iron plates. Got stators over here. Anybody else? Anybody else? I'm not seeing any stuff over here. Can't really see that well underwater unless you do something like this. All right, I think we got everything. So let's get ourselves back here. Build us a MAM. Check out what scan we got. Okay, steel cast plate, or solid steel ingot. There you go, friends. There you go. That removes one step from the equation. If you already have an iron ingot, you don't have to put iron ore into it. This is the recipe I was waiting for. I'm not going to take it yet because I want to see, before I select this, so the steel cast plate stays out of there, I want to see what else we'll get. We can hold a certain number of these, but this is the one I wanted, solid steel ingots. So let's get rid of that while we're walking around. I love how this thing has like the crazy loud sound effects, and it's all tiny today because, well, April Fool's time. Okay, now that I'm no longer in danger of immediately dying, let me scroll back up on chat. Let's see. Hi, yes, student loan discourse. That's always fun. Watching the rocket launch. Yeah, that's what I did earlier. Took a break in the middle of recording a video to be able to watch that. That was cool. I watched the first, like, 20 minutes of it. Are you running on experimental branch? This is experimental. Yes. I'm not doing any of the random ore locations or whatever. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I've accomplished most of what I wanted to do. Alright, map-wise, we've established there's not really a lot up here that's super convenient. Having the pure iron here is very good for making a steel plant. Especially now that we have the solid steel ingot recipe available, even though we haven't selected it yet. Having the pure nodes, plus knowing that we could just export that, means we are going to be able to do a lot of steel over here. You're in the right chat option. I am on live chat, so we should be good. Let's hop out of this real quick. Let's scan once more for iron ore. Let's see if there's anything closer to the coal over here. So we know we have this as the pure stuff. We should see that pop up in just a moment. Normal, 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 pure, pure. Oh, I put those in the super wrong spot. That is also a pure node. There was coal over here. So remember that. It's basically right in the middle of the screen there. Yeah, so we're looking for coal right around this area. If they are right next to each other and they're also pure, then we're going to be in good shape. Okay, well, we got 4 normals right next to the pure iron. That might be a better spot than this over here. What say you? What say you? I think this would be a smart choice. Just because the pure iron is already there and there's 4 regular nodes. And this is already over here, already set up for making power. We could also use that for something else. I'm just going to put that right there. Let's call this new steel area question mark. And we can drive roughly southeast to get there. Now, that is not necessarily going to be super easy for us to get to, but we do know where it is. Just because I really want to know. Can I get there from here? It's probably not impossible. Is there a way to force this in live chat 100% of the time? No, I don't think so. So that I know where I'm going and I know where I've been, let's go on the coast. What is happening? Okay. If I can get this to play nice with me here, without going in the water, do I have to deconstruct this and reassemble it? Going this way I think would be beneficial in case we see any more crash sites or interesting things. I've also never been up here. And there's some sulfur right here we can grab. Yeah, voice to text will get you every time. This is kind of rough. Look at all these barnacles everywhere. Okay, we've got 2 of these guys here. Oh, it's the cave. Okay, you know what? This is going to be worth exploring. Let's just poke our heads in here. See what is inside. Alright, I don't see anything currently. I think I can drive through this, but what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to... go kill these things so I don't have to worry about them. And then we're going to go through that cave and see what we can find in there. And either continue or we'll come back out and explore the rest of the coast. Yeah, there's no chance speech to text or whatever is going to work with that accent. Not a chance. In the slightest. What do they do if you don't sneak up on them? This. They're very annoying. And if you get the big hive, then it can easily kill you. Very quickly. Alright. Now, I don't want to get the car stuck in here. I don't think it's going to want to drive through this, so I'm going to just walk. I need to grab this power slug, which I don't know that I can actually do without standing on top of this. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of like a bee's nest. Except bees are actually beneficial. Those things are just demons. Okay, anything... Okay, there's mycelia back here. We haven't come across any kitties yet. Can't harvest those, but I have the small ones. I don't need to worry about that yet. This is... Oh, look at this. This looks cool. Big old mushroom cave. Kind of underground everything here. Okay, I hear kitties. I don't see kitties. That opens up to the west. I think we've been in that area. Ah, they're up in the tree. All right, well, let's conduct a search here. I don't see anything interesting over there or over there. We just have... Oh my god, there's like 5 of them. Okay, we will not be going over there. Wait a second, is that a summer sloop? It absolutely is. I do. Now my problem is I'm gonna have the spiders. I don't think I can crouch to avoid the spiders. I think they're smarter than that. But I want the summer sloop. And now we are getting the heck out of here.
We watch the waves of the effigies in the shallows passing through the windows, and they're all the same. There is no resonance growth. Sing.
I just called the Fix-It doctors. They told me there is definitely no danger from repeat exposure to these signals. In fact, they said it is good for you. I apologize, but the call dropped suddenly, otherwise they would have told you themselves.
Good old
The
corporate
good
doctors.
news is you should run towards these strange and dangerous-looking objects whenever you find them. Doctor's orders.
Definitely trustworthy. Alright, let's get out of this cave and continue going the way we went. I'm glad we got that summer sloop, though. We can't do much with those yet, but when we get into the later levels of the game, we're going to have the duplication functions on the machines controlled by those. Alright, worth coming up here for sure. Now, nothing else here. Don't fall in the water. Don't fall in the water. Alright, I don't like these things, but they usually indicate there's something interesting here. Alright, so, oh my god, there's... they're everywhere. Well, we are actually closer to where we wanted to be. Use the sloop to process the slugs into power shards to double the production. Well, we'll get there. I don't think I have that unlocked yet. I have to research more. I'm not going to, spend time trying to do that with this. Just try and get it as fast as I can. No, I don't want the crafting bench. I want to drive it. Come on. Here we go. Yeah, regrettably, the spiders create problems. They are kind of hard to defend against. I don't know that I can actually kill them. Oh, I totally can. Alright, I don't know when they added that kind of collision to the mobs and the vehicles, but I, for one, will welcome the opportunity to commit vehicular manslaughter against these things. Okay, that was the one I already killed. It reminded you about the Curiosity rover wheels? Yeah. It's wild that was, what, originally like a 30-day mission? Oh, that one wasn't dead. Okay. Thank you for coming over here, I guess. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, mistakes have been made. I forgot about these stupid bees. They're going to aggro anytime I get even remotely close to them. Well, I killed 3 of the spiders. I think there were 5. I killed 4 of them. So if I just crawl over here. Yeah, they lasted 14 years. How about that? And that's really cool. Is this one still alive? Apparently it was. Alright. Cool. We got that one down there. See, there's nothing up here. But why is... They got that thing guarding a power slug? Really? That can't still be alive, right? Well, it doesn't seem like it matters, so... We'll come back down here. There might be materials up here that I don't have access to yet. Maybe that's why. Let's grab this. Not enough space, huh? Well, I'm not going to be afraid to get rid of some iron plate just to collect this thing. Talking about, what about Slay the Spire? I admittedly don't know anything about Slay the Spire. Is this bauxite? Looks like it is. I see power slug. I don't know that we're going to want that at this exact moment. We'll do a scan. No, that's copper. I definitely don't care about that. Well, my main goal was to get over here where all these coal nodes and the pure iron was, and figure out a way to make that an easier path. So, I guess that's what I should be focused on doing, huh? Okay, this looks promising. No, I thought that was going to be one of the small ones that would disappear. Now, the really cruel twist of fate would be for those things to be hidden in the gas. But I don't think that's going to be... I don't think that's going to be the issue. Let's come over here. Yeah, because that's the northern forest over there. It looks like we're just about in the right spot. I see something there. Can't tell what that is. Let's scan. Okay, that's not iron. That was the iron. That's the pure iron node. And we have more over here. Impure, impure, pure. Holy crap. There's 4 of those? There's 4 pure iron nodes over here. That is worth making a note of. Let's do that. Okay, well maybe we'll have to modify our strategy here. That should be coal. It's not. Okay, so we do have our normals over here, but now we got 4 times pure iron. Okay, well that's not going to be this thing's responsibility. Oh, Quantum Leap was good. We have the whole thing on DVD. It is so much iron. All right, now that we know... Where's my car? There it is. We need to go back down this way. That looks like coal down there. I see something we want. All right. So we've got coal, we've got coal. That is... Oh, that's copper, isn't it? This might have been... Oh, was it Total Eclipse or somebody? I was watching a bunch of those videos this past week, and there's a couple spots he said would be good alternative starts in this general area of the map. Alright. That looks like coal. Aw, there's little baby spitters over there. Okay, we're going to avoid that for right now. So I've got... Should be normal coal. Well, they're all 4 normal. I just want to make absolutely sure. Okay, good. That's there, and I've already forgotten where the iron was. Hopefully the mute button worked. Yeah, so if the pure iron node is here, that seems like it could be in a very suboptimal place. Let's take a look-see, because if it's just up on top of this other thing, that's okay. This is not going to be like Skyrim trying to climb up the mountain with a horse. I think we're going to have to actually jump properly. Okay. Now, no, I didn't want to go down there. It's probably up here. Yeah, it's essentially right there. I no longer have any patience to do this any other way except with a big ramp. So... Oh, come on. Let me, Oh, I forgot to turn on zoop mode. There's probably some nasties up here. And there are. Well, we'll sneak up on them. Yeah, this is great to have this right here. Especially with the solid steel plate. Alright, so I've got that. I've got this ready to go. Now, power is going to be a concern. We could technically set up another coal plant over here. That would be pretty easy to do. There's plenty of space here to make a nice big factory. We do have copper there. I'm assuming that's a pure node. That could be very useful. So I think this node and then these two are going to be what we want for our steel factory. We can make something that looks pretty neat. And we have plenty of space here to build around it. The problem is going to be getting power. I know we have our coal plant over here. Might be a little bit of an expedition to make that happen. But I do want to set up shop here. I don't have the materials to build much of anything as of right now. So let's take a moment to just set up shop. I started the other hard drive, right? Okay, okay. So we have 6 inventory slots or copper rotor. Now 11.25 rotors per minute is pretty good. It's a lot faster than the default recipe. I don't know if that's going to be good enough to really keep. We're going to unlock the inventory slots anyway, so it seems like a waste of a hard drive slot. But solid steel ingot is very good. That's the one that I really, really wanted. That's 60 steel ingots per minute. These normally come out very slowly. Think you're an hour early, not me an hour late. No, an hour Kate. I'm sorry. No, I started a little bit after 7 p.m. my time. Oh, have I gotten the email that says I'm live yet? I have. Very good. Okay, don't care about that. So, this is what I was basing the entire steel thing around, was trying to find the solid steel ingot recipe, which we did. And then that means we can make a pure iron ingot factory up here, because there also is, I believe, was it Codex? Yeah. Iron ingot. There's other recipes that I haven't gotten yet. But they all involve other complicated buildings. This is the most simple one to do. We have a pure node. We have Mark 1 miners, which means we're going to get 120. Set up 4 of these, and then we have 120 iron ingots per minute. Which, to use with the recipe for steel that we just unlocked, or we haven't unlocked yet, we have 120 per minute. That's what I was trying to tell you. Hard drive library. So that means we can, we can do the same thing with coal, which 2 normal nodes, 60 each, will get us 120 per minute. This will be perfectly balanced. And we will be able to make a lot of steel very, very quickly because this recipe is very fast. Yes, we do have daylight saving time. There's only 2 or 3 states in the U.S. that don't. You see the big doggos? We are on the other side of the map from that for right now. But we will go back there soon. Yeah, let's grab that. Is there any other MAM research I can do now that I have all of this stuff? Can't really do those yet. Alien technology. If I was able to get to this other SAM thing, reanimated SAM or whatever, SAM tetrahedron, whatever this thing's called. It's not going to tell me. SAM fluctuator. Wait, I can actually make these? If I have reanimated SAM, which... Do I have wire on me? I do. Okay. Well, the car's down there. I can get the tractor up here. Tell you what. Let's do this. Try to get this to be exactly the right spot. That is not the right spot. That is also not the right spot. That was the right spot. It is so hard to do this staring right at the zoop area. Come on. Well, I don't care if this falls off the end, it just has to work. So there we go. Let's bring this up. It's going to be easiest for us to do this part first. Alright, now I have a crafting bench. That was the whole reason why I brought that up here. And I have all these other materials. Let's put as much of this in here as we can. I've got Sam. I need to reanimate it. I've got that, and then I have the other... I think it was the other recipe I was looking for. Yeah, so I need to make reanimated Sam, and then I need to make Sam fluctuators. There is a limited amount of stuff you can actually do with one of these. In the MAM should give me a... okay, I need 11 of those. That's not going to work. I need 11 of those for the Dimensional Depot, and that's probably a little bit more important because I don't plan on dying very much, but I do plan on using those. Alright, so we're still a little ways off from having Sam. But still a good idea to, you know, take advantage of as much of this as we can while we can. So let's condense all of these proteins down, and then that'll help us clear up some spots. I don't know how long you're planning on being here, Kurt, but we'll get to that stuff hopefully before I have to be done today. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I don't think I want to turn it into DNA capsules quite yet, but that does help us a little bit. I don't want to manually make all these iron ingots. These are basically free and we're next to pure, so I probably am not going to feel bad about just trashing these. But I don't necessarily have to. I don't think we have the... we haven't researched the stuff that allows you to put summer sloops in anything yet. That is in... I think that's down here, which it's going to be a while, so I'm not going to feel bad about just turning these slugs into the stuff now anyway. Let's just do that. There's a bunch of these slugs absolutely everywhere, so we shouldn't worry about it. The next big challenge is getting power from here to, or power from the main base to here. As I said earlier, somewhere over here is our coal stuff. I don't remember exactly where it is, but it's east-southeast of here. So that is right around here-ish. But I can't tell. If I'm in photo mode, is that going to be... Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. That is a... I think that's where a summer sloop normally would be in that kind of a formation. I don't see the summer sloop itself. That doesn't mean it's not there. Where is my coal plant? I know it's over here somewhere. That's the space elevator. That's easy to see. Okay, I can't see my whole thing there. Okay, that is a... That's just a visual glitch, but that's a power pole. That is a power pole right there. So, we could pretty easily get power run over here. let me, before things get too crazy, let me just make some easy ramps to get from there to here. And then I think we can make our way. Because once we have power, we can do just about whatever we want. Okay, we will need to deal with those guys, but it'll get easier once we have power. Alright, remember we're going in this general direction. Then we're going to come back with power poles. They don't have to be perfect, but they do have to exist. And depending on how close I can get, might be easier. Okay, can't run into those and have that do anything. These are guarding something, but I don't see anything here. Which means it's either a node we don't have access to yet, or something else nefarious occurring over here. And choose not to worry about it. Let's get this thing over here. That is a cave full of gas that we do not want to go into. Come up here. I don't think there's anything over here worth doing. Okay. Is that my power pole over there? I think it is. Alright, so I just need to connect to that, which, for obvious reasons, I cannot. But, if I have this up ready to go, and I find myself within range, which will not be anytime soon, then we'll be in good shape. So, what I'm going to do instead is start the process of building a stupid little ramp. Is that going to intersect with that? Kind of. That's fine. I mainly just want to avoid the whole, you know, get bodied by the dudes down there thing. So that'll get me to here. Okay, what's up here? That's a cave. Have we been in that cave? We might have gone in that cave. I don't remember. Oh, there's gas in there. I don't want to mess with that. Alright, so that is basically right up there is where all of our stuff is. I am still not quite close enough to that power pole. I don't want to go all the way down. I also don't want to forget where I've come from here. So why don't we just do this? Let's zoop until I can reach it. Not quite, not quite. Then we will, not quite. We'll take these things away. There we go. So this has to actually go somewhere. And I have to be able to actually connect to it. So if I want to do what I'm supposed to be doing, I probably should do it the correct way. I can do that there. That barely fits to there. There we go. Let's just get this cleaned up. Starship Zoopers, there you go. Alright, now that's there. I need to make sure I don't leave these behind. Okay, this coming up here is actually very helpful. Can't go there. How about I go there? Alright, now I've got mass dismantle. Makes that easy. I just don't want to aim at something I don't want to destroy. Alright, so as long as I can get that to come down all the way over here. Okay, too long. That is fine. I back on? No, not quite. Alright, let's bring this as far out. Oh, don't fall off. That was so close. I also don't want this to clip through the ground because I think that looks terrible. So I'm going to have this go. Come on. Come on. It's almost. There we go. Alright, YouTube has to stop auto-moderating these messages. But I don't want to turn off auto-moderation entirely. Okay, we've talked about this multiple times. I don't need to keep complaining about it. Alright, power line, power line, power line. Wasn't that the, wasn't the pop star in the Goofy movie was Powerline, or was that something else? What a great movie. That's going to go where? No, I can't remember. That's kind of a problem, huh? Well, no matter what, going there is probably not a bad choice. Oh, okay, we're like we're like halfway there. Okay. So at least I can get to that a lot easier. We need to be going technically northeast, I think. Oh, that's a tree. Let's avoid that. Okay. No, I don't think I can reach that from here, but it should be... Never miss a chance to kill these things. Okay, there's another one over here. I'm just going to YOLO this one because I don't want to take the time to sneak. There's a couple of these. That's fine. Alright. I believe that is going to be good enough. Let's grab this. Come as far as we can this way. Can I get that up on there? Barely. Just makes it a tiny bit easier to grab. Alright, now if I come up here without going through the ground in a way that looks completely stupid, means that it's going to have to go somewhere up here. I saw blue. Come on. There we go. And then we want it to come over here. I forgot we had rain now. I was about to say, oh, it's raining, and then like I just took it for granted, like it's not one of the best technological achievements this game has done in the past couple of updates. I know they had rain very early, but it got removed before I was playing too much. Now that's going to come out to there. And this is exactly where the pure iron is. Alright, so that was a very successful, not entirely annoying process to get that done. We have that down there we have to mess with, but I can access that from there. Okay, now we need to be able to actually build a, what do you call it? Which has to be constructed in a workshop here. And I should be able to just make one of these. There we go. And then I always like to align my foundations to the world grid when I'm doing this, because I think it looks a tiny bit nicer. I'm going to take this off as zoop mode. So control, left control, aligns it to the world grid. I want to go just a tiny bit lower. See if that's going to even attach. Let's go to minor. Okay, that will attach. That's good. That makes it a tiny bit easier. And just so this is mostly covered up, I will put that there, and that there. We'll need to build some sort of a iron whatever structure. I think it was, I said 4 smelters to do all this. So let's see how this looks attached here. Okay, that lines up very close to splitting evenly. This lines up very not close to splitting evenly. If I moved this to this side... Yeah, you know what? I feel pretty good about doing this way. Just make a very simple setup, and then all of the... Oh, we need to get the barrel nuts out of here. That is going to be sticking up through the floor in a way that will annoy the absolute crap out of me. Now it's chainsaw time. There we go. Any of you Chainsaw Man fans out there, I have kind of been spoiled on the ending. I haven't read basically any of it, but curious to know, without spoiling it for anyone else in chat who hasn't seen it or watched it or read it or anything, if you were satisfied with that or not. Anyway, I was going to put up more of these here. I guess I can put this on zoop mode. I want to see how far out I can go without it looking like complete garbage. I only need 4 of these, which means I could, depending on how I want to do it, feed it back around the back side here. And then I would just have to have 3 of those. I don't want this to overhang too much. So I put 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. This might actually be just about perfect. Yeah, okay, cool. I can rock with that. Nice, simple setup here. Depending on how we want to do our smelters, they are 1 way in, 1 way out, if you don't remember. And I think it's going to make sense to just pop these in the center of here. That is dead center. That is right there. Okay. Now we have the technology to copy these. Oh, remember when I said I was going to do blueprints before I did any of this, and then I didn't do that? Anyway, now I can... Oh, what was the option for... I guess I could just center click it. It's probably fine. I know I can squeeze these in a lot closer and have it be just tiny. I guess that's fine. Maybe that saves us just a tiny bit of space. It doesn't look great. This gives me enough space around the outside to have a little walkway, which I guess is good. Maybe we could have a dimensional depot uploader here if we really wanted it. I think this is going to be fine. Now let's just make a simple manifold here. We've got mergers and splitters. Obviously, we just need splitters. This is easily extendable if we wanted it to be, so why don't we want that to go that way. I think this right here should be okay. Let's just get that popped in. Remember, this is all minus what's coming out of here, because this is a pure node. This can all be Mark 1 belts. Going into there, this would still need to be a Mark 2, but after it comes out of here, this will be 60. And then that'll be 30, and then this bit here will also be 30, so that can be straight mode. And then I will need to belt that as Mark 2, so that is... No, I wanted straight. I need... There we go. I have to remember what my keyboard shortcuts are. Okay, so that's 120 coming out of here as soon as it has power. And then into this one we have 30. Into this one we have 30, 30, 30, so on and so forth. The power connects in the back here. I don't have daisy chaining yet, which means unfortunately we do have to have just regular power poles. Or wall outlets. And I do have walls available. I don't have really good looking walls available. Have you considered doing a vertical build for your manufacturing and storage? I honestly haven't put a lot of thought into it, to be perfectly straight with you. So I think what I will do, for the sake of this, is just get this set up as simply as possible, without it looking like absolute garbage. And then we'll come back and make this look nice later if we feel so inclined. But I just wanted to put wall outlets behind all these, which can go very easily here. And then come down, because these don't really line up that great. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. So I just put that there, just put that there. That's going to go from, come on, it's going to go from there to there. And then this one also has to go to there. This one also has to go to there. And then this, come on, can go to here, except that also has to connect to something, and that goes on the very top. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put that there, and then this is going to have to, again, I'm going to make this better when the time is, you know, right to do that. So for now, I'm just going to, once again, do the ugly thing. But the thing that works, and get this connected here. Oh, that's going to go in the wrong spot. I don't want that. Okay. And there we go. So now this should turn on all at once. We are not using nearly enough power for this to be a problem. And now I have 120 ingots per minute coming out of here, some of which will need to be stored, some of which will need to go down. Or actually, all of it needs to go down, and if it ever backs up, it can go into storage. Let's see. Yeah, this is going to take some time to fill up, and it is working. Okay, so let's do... Well, okay, I actually can't do an overflow buffer for this like I kind of want to. But I can have this come straight down here. Yeah, I'm going to want this to come in on this side, I think. Which means I'm going to have to extend this. I don't necessarily need to extend this building like this, but I feel compelled to have it be kind of interesting looking. 4 meters is going to give me space on this side to zoop here. And then the rest of this basically isn't visible. Actually, yeah, that looks good. This gives me one more spot there. I can just deal with that. Then if I go one more down this way, that gives me a nice overhang. I can have the building just kind of, you know, come up out of the cliffside there. Can that guy shoot at me, or is he just annoying? Well, regardless, this is where that's going to come down. We'll have that meet up and come straight down here. I could do a conveyor hole on the wall here, or I could do... Okay, I did make a wall hole. Let's do this. Let's make that wall there. This could be probably fine. You know, I could do that, or I could put a ramp here that might actually be kind of interesting. Yeah, and then I want my wall hole. You know, I'm building things that are maybe a little bit too forward thinking here based on what we're actually able to do, but I am determined to get this to actually go nice. Smart splitter would be great, but I don't have a splitter yet. So let's make this just a regular splitter there. Remember, this is a 120, so it has to be a Mark II, which I do actually have the materials to build. Okay, straight mode, for some reason, there we go. Straight mode doesn't want to play nice. That can go in there, and then I can connect the outside very easily. I will tolerate that. I think that is fine. Let's go... This is actually a little bit closer than it probably should have been. I may end up redoing this. Conveyor merger. Yeah, let's do that. Even though it clips a tiny, tiny bit, I think this is going to be worth doing. Alright, so Mark 1 conveyor belts on straight mode. That gets me in there, that gets me in there. This combined is 60. This will be 90, this will be 120 coming out of it. So that's 90. Yeah. I will actually take the merger out, and then we'll just have this build straight, just because that's what it is. Look at that! 120 iron ingots. Nice and smooth down here. We can make this look better at a different time. But that is going to give us a very nice iron ingot push into here. And then foundries. Ah, yes. Modular frames. So, now I just have to remember how to get back there with the car. Come down to here, come across here, and then drive over to this. I do have, I think, a crossing somewhere over here. We'll figure it out. I am really locked in, but also you guys are talking about stuff that I really can't respond to very well, so I just kind of haven't bothered. But I do want to come back up here. At least we have all of this ready to go now. That was very important to me that I got that hooked up, so well, I guess we just kind of follow our power over here, run over this thing, whatever the heck that is. That thing just yeeted itself into oblivion. Oh, that's the little, what do you call them? Yeah, I know, very scientific term. What's the best way to get back from here? I got lost again. Okay, we'll go up and to the left here. I think I can go back this way. Now, going this way, I could, depending on where I cross, I could wreck the car. I think here is safe. Yeah, there we go. And then to get across here, this should be okay. Yeah, I know the Explorer gets really stupid about depth of things. This will get me... actually, maybe not. Does this cave come out anywhere that's worth messing with? I know we got that guy in here. Alright, I need you to move, sir. Thank you. You ever have those teachers where they know you didn't read the assignment, ask you a question, just sit there staring and let you stew in it? Oh, yes. It's especially funny when you're in like a college seminar course that's for like your major, and 2/3 of the class has not done the assignment and you're the only one that did it. And then you get extra points for that, but how did I end up on... I didn't want to end up on this side. Well, I'll tell you what we'll have to do here. I have to make this into a crossing here. So we'll just make this, we'll make this nightmare mode. How about that? No, no, no. I want to drive. There we go. It's like those platformers, but you're in a giant vehicle. Oh, I didn't change those to concrete yet. There they are. Look at those big boys. We got 4 of them. So let's see what Gary, and Gary have for us today. I actually don't have enough space. 28 cables. Thank you, Gary 4. Gary 4 again. Why can't I not? There we go. Gary 3 has some quick wire. Gary 2 has some quartz crystal. That's very helpful. Thank you, Gary. And can I get to Gary 1? I don't know that I can get to Gary 1. That's Gary 4. Let's come around here. You're sticking out there, bud. Oh, yeah, circuit boards. Thank you, Gary 1. Knew I could count on you. So now we've got all this space. And we've got... That's it? Only 50, all that time? Oh, it ran out of reinforced iron plates. Okay, well, I only needed, a little bit more to get blueprints. So let's launch that. Oh, really? I still need more? Alright. Why is that? Okay. I'll just have to go grab some more cables. Okay, that should be enough for now. And now we have blueprint launching.
Milestone reached. Blueprints reduce repetitive building tasks, further optimizing your progression towards saving Earth, with its beautiful ecosystems, abundant natural resources, and sunsets over frolicking puppies and kittens. The blueprint designer allows you to build and combine structures once and then duplicate that configuration effortlessly. Any complaints about the spatial restrictions will only reveal your own inefficiencies.
The idea is that the infant who is about to be born and cannot be vaccinated yet is not exposed to it. Is my understanding. I don't know much else besides that. What did we do about... Okay, we haven't decided on either of those yet. I don't think that matters. But we got blueprints completed. Next up, we probably are going to want Mark III logistics because that's going to give us the faster belts. Oh, we're going to want that for sure because we're about to make a ton of steel. I have not made any progress on jump pads, no. You know, theoretically, I should have all of these encased industrial beams and everything to research hypertubes now. But I think Mark III logistics is going to be better. I don't have enough steel beams. I do have pipes. I got tons of steel pipes. And I should at some point soon have reinforced iron plates. But as you know, I'm not going to manually craft anything for milestones or space elevator parts, so we will need to make sure that this is dealt with appropriately. I have 325 reinforced iron plate. I know I have to have, to build foundries, I have to have modular frames, and those are 10 each. I'm going to need to have, I think, 4 of these. Let's check the recipe. Okay, solid steel ingot. It takes 3 seconds. That's just such a better recipe. Okay, so that's 40 and 40. I'm outputting 120, so I only need 3. That means I have enough modular frames. So 3 of those. We're going to have 180 steel ingots a minute. That is cool. This panel, by the way, is where the summer sloops go, but I haven't researched that yet. So, I am going to let them make a little bit more. And then I think I'm going to have to change this back over to make reinforced iron plate. Probably is going to make the most sense. Okay, so that's making 2 at a time. Yeah, I'm going to let this do 1 more cycle, and then I think I should, honestly, just be able to change the recipe back over. And then that'll be fine. Yeah, that's 39. And this is fully sped up, by the way. So having alternate recipes for the modular frames is also a really, really good thing to get. Okay. Now, as soon as that's done, which it is, back to reinforced iron plate we go. This might not be getting regular iron plate. I'll just get that going there. I think... Oh, that's because this was supposed to be taken out. Okay. Yeah, I was doing rotors in this before. Don't worry, we will have a correct factory for this at some point. I just have to make sure this is working. Okay, 75. I do not have the ability to supply that, so I can take that out. That'll supply a maximum of 60 per minute. Is this even full? This is not making 60 per minute. This is making... it's making 20. Okay, so that we don't need to really worry about. I'll just leave it. Honestly, I think that's probably going to be fine. I need to hide some more of this stuff that I can't use yet. What happened to my Mercer spheres that I... Oh, they're in the car. There's the thing coming back in. see if I can take those. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a couple trips. I'll tell you what we can do actually. Let's since we're already here, turn a couple of these things into protein. I don't think I have anything else to... It's so funny seeing those huge heads. Quartz. Yeah, that should be alright. Okay, now I can take the rest of these things that I can't use yet and pop them in here. I think makes the most sense. I've got no more SAM, right? Okay, I can't do anything with quartz quite yet. That's gone. That's gone. Bauxite's still quite a ways off. Steel pipes, I don't really need. Plastic, I can't do anything yet for a while. Those are not going to use for a while. That's fine. That's fine. That's all good. The iron ore, I don't need to keep. Oh, I'll tell you what I'll do with the iron ore is I will put that in this thing. I'm going to have to be careful about where I put this. So this is going to be... What? Okay, that didn't work. Let's just do... let's just do this. Default straight curve. Okay. So it wants to play hardball is what it wants to do. No, no, no. I want this to be going. Can I, it just really doesn't like this, does it? Okay. I thought this was going to be easy. But it turns out it was not going to be easy. Okay. That is... Like, what? Come on. Come on. I just need this to go in here. Like, can we reach an agreement on that? Okay. Now I want to load into the top one. I know we're kind of creating spaghetti. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Just dumping my garbage. Okay, full stack of that can be done. Got 100 of those. I'm going to go grab the other stacks we've already made. 2 of those should be fine. That gets us, you know, 3/4 of the way there. And I do want to keep the steel beams for right now. Alright. What have I missed? Ah, yes. The discourse. Yeah, well, I was at work and I had a accident in the dish pit because somebody propped the back door open in a rainstorm to go smoke weed in the manager's car. And so Workman's Comp definitely paid for all these stitches I had to get from that, but I had to get a tetanus shot for that as well. Okay. Let's see, what else? See you, Tim. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see. Yeah, poultry farming in the U.S. is kind of horrific, I'm not going to lie. But I also eat way too much chicken to really probably take a position on that as being bad without being a hypocrite, so I probably won't. I need to change this over to concrete. Well, I don't need to, I get to. I just like it when it looks uniform. Alright, so that helps. We have a way to get across there. I was getting materials so that I could build everything I wanted to build over there. Alright, let's check in with the Garys, see if they've gotten anything. Whoa, yeah, high-speed connectors. Gary 4's got some good stuff for us today. Gary 2, it's okay, Gary 2, you go when you want to. Gary 3, same deal. These look like shrimp. Where's Gary 1? That's Gary 2. Gary 1. There's Gary 1. Okay, nothing for Gary 1. But high-speed connectors are good. That's actually a research thing we can probably get to sometime soon in the MAM. But that's going to be good. Let's go ahead and make our shopping list here. I need 3 foundries to make the steel. We just put the coal into there. I need rotors. Okay. Yeah, Josh, the stuff you deal with is like you're one like mistake away from having your arm sawn clean off. Tetanus shot probably is the least of your worries. Foie gras. I think that's actually how that's spelled. But I always thought that was for like duck liver, not just chickens. Oh, that's the April Fool's stuff. Is the giant lizard doggos, the tiny bouncy dudes, and then if we go into here, we got the head's not big in this. Oh, don't tell me they already changed it back. If you're driving the vehicle, then the head is huge on your character. Aw, the head's not big anymore. It was. Anyway, I wonder if the rest of these guys have anything yet. Nope, Gary 2's got nothing. Is this Gary 4? God, I cannot... Gary 4's got something again. Okay. Copper sheets. Thank you, Gary 4. Gary 1, nothing. Gary 3 has 6 motors. Very helpful. Poultry, chickens, ducks, geese. Well, in the U.S., we almost exclusively eat chicken from that list. I mean, people do eat duck, but they are like 8 tax brackets ahead of me. So I don't think I've ever had duck. I don't know that anybody eats geese here. Sometimes, like, you can buy quail in the supermarket, but I don't know anybody eats that. Let's write rotors. I was building foundry. I need to have 2 miners. So I need to have portable miners. I don't need any water for that. And then to actually make stuff out of the steel ingots, we're going to have 180. Sheesh. We're going to have 180 steel ingots. Those can go into constructors, but the constructors are not very fast. Steel beams consume 60 per minute and make 15. And I think the pipe is 30 and 20. Okay. So if we have 180 steel per minute, which is going to be hard for us to handle until we have Mark III belts, so it's going to be weird for a while, then what I could do, I can have 2 of these making steel beams. We'll have 30 steel beams per minute, and then I can have 2 of these making steel pipes. We'll have 40 steel pipe per minute and 30 steel beams per minute. That's the easiest way for us to split that up without it getting complicated. So we don't need a big factory right now. Oh yeah, geese raised for down. That's a thing. Oh yeah, how did I forget about turkey? I mean, I don't really care about turkey that much. I don't really think it's that good of a meat to begin with, but people have strong feelings about Thanksgiving food, at least in the South. So I need to make portable miners. Let's do that. I just need 2 of these. Now I need rotors, but I have this currently making these, which I do need, and that's a good thing that we're about to have 100, so I can finish that off. I can technically handcraft steel out of its components, but I'm not going to because that's for the milestone. Thanksgiving-style turkey, if prepared well, is very good. Unfortunately, a lot of the time it's very dry. I have a cousin who likes to deep fry it, and that is probably the most American thing that's ever happened, but it's very good. Very moist. And of course, the regular style, if you cook it right, is still good. But turkey on a deli sandwich, if it is not the slimy, thinly sliced deli meat, is good. I'll usually put turkey in conjunction with ham and roast beef. I rarely will eat it by itself on a sandwich. Let's see. I was going to make rotors. Because I did finish that. I am going to need a decent bit of Mark II belts. I don't think I'm going to need more than 100. Deep frying turkey is one of the leading causes of fires. Yes, that's why if you're not an idiot, you won't catch your house on fire doing it. People do it inside their garage. Like, look, at this point, you've already should have had the fire department there if you're stupid enough to do it inside your garage. Do it outside. Do it like 30 feet from the house, sitting on a concrete pad or something. And don't put the frozen turkey in the boiling oil. Like, it should be obvious, but, some people just either don't know or they don't care. Alright, let's go check and see if I've got almost to 100 of these. I do want that stack to be at 100. This is just about there. Okay. I need one more. Alright, there's my stack of 100. Now I will change this over to rotors, and I should just be able to reconnect that one thing. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put this back in. I know it's probably... Actually, that's not going to feed right, because this needs 200 screws per minute. And I'm not making 200 screws per minute. I can go ahead and just let that be what it's got to be. Take that out. Get that connected there. Alright, so I've got plenty there. This is already a Mark II belt, so it's going to give it 120, but it wants 200. If I take this away, it's still 150. If I take this down to... Or that's going to be 120, which I guess I can just go to 120%. There we go. So it only makes 4.8 per minute, but it should perfectly feed off of the screw makers. Oh, that's only making 75. I've got enough. I've got enough. That's fine. Alright, do I want to go... Do I want to go back over there quite yet? I don't know. The answer is yes. Hello! How many... Oh, I've got 18 rotors. Perfect. I only need one more. Good, 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 good. Give me one more rotor. Beautiful. Now I have enough to make my stupid, crappy little factory. Now let's see what kind of walls I can unlock. Because I know you can get like windows and stuff. You have to have quartz for that, and I have not researched that. I do, in fact, have quartz. I probably should go ahead, since we're already here, and do that. Let's grab that. I do like windows.
The crystalline mineral was a previously unknown variation of quartz, with uniquely large and flawless crystals, normally only found in synthetic quartz. The industrial application of this mineral will follow that of its synthetic counterpart, specifically in communication and exploration technologies.
So, we are one quartz crystal short of researching either quartz crystals or silica. And that's what's going to give us our windows. So let's check here, make sure I don't have anything left. I might, but I don't think I do. That's a no. But I can scan for quartz. If we have some nearby, then I'll go get some, but I don't think we have any close here. There is quartz way over here, and I think there's some way down here. Oh, that's in that cave. Okay. Pure nodes. Okay, I know exactly where those are. Those are in a cave. Way back in there. Alright, so we will not be messing with that. Let's see. What do I want to get myself into? Well, let's see if the Garys have found anything else in the time that we've been sitting here. I love how I have to jump to interact with these. Oh, wow! These are super late game cooling systems. Thank you, Gary 2. Thank you, Gary 1, technically. Okay, 3. There we go. Nothing from 3. The cooling system, that is not something we're going to be able to use for a very long time. So I could put it in the awesome sink. I don't think I will. But if I could get just a little bit more raw quartz, that would be fantastic. I don't think I can scan for it. Probably not. The Garys are indeed putting in plenty of work today. They're doing a fantastic job. That's the Coffee Stain April Fool's thing. They always make these guys huge, and then the ones you can bounce on, they make really small. And some of the other mobs get alternate designs that are kind of funny. So, if I can remember how to get back over where I was going, I've got plenty of that. I've got 129 iron plate. That's only really useful for walls. Okay, before I... You know what? Do we want to change... is that where I change my default color? No, that's in... There we go. Customizer. I can actually change the color of everything. I have not bothered to basically ever do this. Is there a color scheme that you guys would like to see that actually makes sense? Do they get a stat boost? I don't know. I have never tried to mess with it. I do kind of like the idea of repainting... No, how do I change this? I do like the idea of, okay, changing this to be different colors. I don't know about white necessarily, but blue is always good. That is like sickeningly bright blue. Oh, swans are evil. Swans will absolutely kill you. Canada geese also. Different color swatch depending on what resource it's working with. That is an idea. Say, I kind of want to have like a medium blue for most of my machines. And then this other one could be a not like that kind of color, but like a closer to a white. Default. Oh, I haven't even thought about changing that. But if I change that, then that's what all these buildings change to. Okay, that's a little bright on the blue. That is definitely a little bright on the blue. We got options though. We can change some stuff. Yeah, I don't think I really like this that much. It's like a little too close to lilac. See, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm just so used to the orange. Preset fix it primary. Although I do like that secondary color being white. I do think that looks nice. Well, I mainly don't like the big walls always being this orange, but I guess they could also just be... Huh. Interesting that this is already set up like that. Okay. Well, I like the accent color being the white. All right. We need to actually build something because I don't have too much time left. I want to make sure this is actually working. And then if we had an actual road set up, we could have these tractors going, but I think that's going to take a lot more effort than it's worth at this exact moment in time. Black would be very dark. Don't know that we want to be doing that. I also have to remember how to get back to where I was coming from. I think I want to go through here, across there. And then I think I have to cross maybe here. And then here. Okay. This will be so much better once I have hypertubes and trains and all that. Alright. Don't drown. Don't drown. Okay, that's not going to go well. I appear to have made a mistake in my pathing, and I should not have tried to go this way. But we're already here. So I will just go ahead and put this here. Because we're already here. Oh, I didn't want that. Get out of here. I don't care about that. Go. somewhat terrifying women are good. You should be proud of that. Now I see a building over there. That is what we are looking for. So I should be able to just kind of go straight through here. Yeah, now we're cooking. Alright, so I have 120 iron per minute ready to come down from there to join into this unholy mess of a factory I'm about to build down here. So these things are just the regular hogs, but they have a different thing for April Fools, which I always thought was kind of funny looking. Alright, so now we have this taken care of. I'm going to come in with my foundations. I want these to be... Yeah, I want these to be high enough where I don't have to see the source, but I can still snap onto it if I have to. Which means here is just about perfect. And then I have to have this connected over to here. This is actually going to be sticking up just a touch, which isn't going to look that great, but I guess it's fine. All right. Miner, Mark 1 goes right there. And because I built on the world grid, these will align very nicely. Perfectly, one might even say. This, architecturally speaking, would probably not go all the way to the ground unless I put like a support beam or something there, but for right now I just need this to match up there. So I will put a single thing there. We're going to have Mark II belt come all the way down, which I should have assumed was going to use a lot more Mark II belts. But that's fine. I just have to get this in here to where it can be split into any of the 4 foundries that are going to be going in. So if I wanted to do that way, what I could actually do, come build this over here. Please note that in no circumstance will I ever claim to make really good looking factories. You should never expect me to create something that is aesthetically pleasing for any of these. But they will work. They will absolutely work. They will just be uglier than original sin in the process. So that goes there. That actually... Yeah, it probably makes the most sense for it to just be facing this way. So I'm going to have 60 coming out of here, 60 coming out of here, 120 coming out of there. That's going to have to be split 3 ways to go into 3 different foundries. So, okay, here's what we're going to have to do. One of these is going to feed to the steel pipes. The other one's going to feed to the steel beams. This has to go to both, which means I'm going to have to do some shenanigans. But let's make this not as complicated as it has to be. I see we're making up additional fake lore for me in the comments again. Hard to make it look nice without more unlocks than are available at the current time. That is correct. So, if I have this coming in from the back side here, I could actually... see, I probably am going to have to merge both of these and then have them split out 3 ways with a load balancer. That's probably going to be the best way to do it. Well, anyway, point being is I can most easily do this by setting up, I guess, all the way across here. Don't fall. Oh, man. Now I gotta get the chainsaw out. Come on, really? Okay, that got rid of it. Good. Alright, I don't want that anymore. Alright, I wish it wasn't dark now. Foundry. How much space does this take up on a doohickey here? Alright. If I just want to center that, which I don't necessarily need to, I can do that. Yeah, it's going to stick out one way or the other. But putting that centered there means I can walk around it at the very least. So I guess I can just do that and get these as close as possible. They'll be set up kind of stupidly, but it is what it is. You know what? This actually doesn't look completely terrible. So we're going to have these stacked. And no input is greater than 60, so we know we can get away with putting that in. I'm going to make those go up that side. Make those go up that side. So left input, just to make it easy for everybody. By everybody, I mean me. Left input can be iron, and the right input can be coal. We're using the alternate recipe, which thank God we have, because that's going to make that so much easier. 40 per minute means I'm going to have, yeah, the double two things going to come through here. Yeah, I think it's just going to make the most sense. So that is going to have to be a conveyor splitter up top. We're going to have that come in from... Oh, you know what I should have done is I should have lined these up. I still can, and I think I will. I think I will. Let's copy that. I need this to be exactly in the middle, and it is. Okay. Yeah, let's just bring these back as easy as possible. And that's going to get me to right there. Okay, so it only moved over a tiny bit, but now this one lines up nicely. Okay. I promise we're going to get something accomplished today. That's going to go there, that's going to go there, and that's going to go there, which means this one can now be put in with the splitter here. Input on that side, input on that side. And even though I don't need it here, it's going to make it easier to connect if I do that. So 40 coming in on this side means I can have a Mark 1. This is already connected. This does have to be a Mark 2 because it's going to be 80 coming in. But I should have enough to do that. This here, if I put this in straight mode, is going to look a little funky. What's the height on this, actually? Because I could have this come down not quite all the way. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's, I want to say the height on this is 2 of these. Yes, okay. So that's what I want it to line up with. Let's go there. I want the lift Mark 2. And I want that to come down to right there where it's snapped. Okay, and that actually makes sense to have that in that exact... Nope, that's the wrong button. Makes sense to have that like that. I don't really care about this hovering that much. I just want it to connect. There we go. And is this straight? Is it... I think it is. You know what? I am not upset about that. I think that looks good enough. So this is where this gets to be interesting because these have to combine here. And I'm going to have a merger and then immediately a splitter. So I want that to go out. Let's say put that there. 60. Oh, that's too close. Also doesn't line up because that's not quite right. I do want the output to be going almost directly into here if I can. Which means that's going to hopefully... Oh, no, that's not quite. The thing that I keep waffling about is I need the splitter to be close enough. Let's try that. Splitter right next to it. You can kind of directly adjoin these, but they're not going to want to connect right, so I did that. I do have to have the Mark II in the middle. That has to go there. Mark 1. Oh, it's on straight mode. That's why it didn't work. That works. If I put this on straight mode, what's it? Okay, that's fine. Then the rest of these... Remember, this is just to make the actual steel. We have to make the actual machines later. That's going to go in there. and then that's going to go in there. All right, so that's going to get us all of the coal we need, evenly split between these. The glowy rain thing in the distance, I unfortunately... Oh, you're talking about this? That is for a power slug. That's a creature we can harvest to give us, I guess, juicy innards that allow us to overclock machines. It's actually pretty cool. I need to get these connected to power. And I know it's going to be ugly. It's kind of unavoidable at this exact moment in time, but it is... it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm going to choose to... Yeah, there's not really going to be any way this looks decent, is there? That can go there. No, that's in the middle of the belt. I do have more shame than that. Let's... Ugh. That looks bad. Let's connect that one to that one. Connect that one to this one. And then this one needs to connect to that, needs to connect to that, and needs to connect to that. So now these should all turn on at exactly the same time. Power-wise, I hope things don't shut off, because that's going to be very annoying to fix. No, maximum consumption is still well under what we are doing. Okay. So now all of these will give us combined 180 ingots per minute. And because this is a very simple early game factor, we don't need to complicate it. We can just have these come right out. We're going to, of course, have to split these weirdly, but we are going to have 4 constructors, which means I think it's going to be easiest for us to just base this around putting constructors in like this. So I'm going to do just 4 right next to each other. Nice and simple. And then we have steel beams right here. And then on this, I did not line those up correctly. Let's try again. And there. Okay, these are not for steel beams. They're supposed to be for pipes. So, into this, 30 for this one and this one, which can both be fed by... Can I get on top of this? These two can both be fed by that guy, and then these two are going to go directly into this, because these both accept 60 per minute. So the belts don't quite line up, but, you know, it is what it is. That's about all we can do. Is this... Wow, that actually lines up. I was not expecting that. So we need a splitter, which I will put basically right here. 60 there, 30 here, and 30 here. So, honestly, this is... Wow, that was quick. Honestly, this is pretty good for early. We got some extra space over here I don't think we need to worry about. I'm going to get this... No, come on. I'm going to get this zooped all the way across here. And then we're going to have storage. Each of these are going to get combined into a different setup here. Again, ugly, but it's fine. So these get combined there, these get combined there. For the sake of ease, I think it's going to be okay. Oh, we're going to barely have enough iron plate. Now the problem I'm going to have is I'm going to need more belts than I think I can reasonably do something with. Do I have anything to make more? No, I do not. Because I said I'm never going to need to have that many iron plates. Well, we can interrupt this process and just steal some of our iron ingots here. And we'll just make more plates. Oh, we're so far away from the doggo cave. Hello Kitty went past. Yeah, that one in service in May, I think. My sister's a big Hello Kitty fan. She's upset she is never going to get to ride it. I've been looking for a model of it, but they're all crazy expensive. I don't know why the 500 series never really got a chance. I mean, I think it probably has something to do with the capacity issue. It doesn't hold the 1,300 people or whatever. I can't remember if we talked about this on stream or not. Oh no, we're talking trains. We're not going to get anything else done. I always thought the 500 series was really cool. CJ the goatee. That's funny. Okay, now I've got enough iron plates, I think, to do most of this. Let's get this set up. I'm going to have to end stream here in a little bit because I do still have to edit the video for tomorrow. But if I just put this kind of evenly in the middle, I think I can get this to sit nicely in here. Let's give it a shot. Conveyor merger out to there. No guarantee this is gonna... Oh, that didn't want to do that, but default mode's gonna let me do it. Obviously, we can't really, you know, do that with this other stuff yet, but I think that's in the middle. Let's give this a shot. Dead on! Okay. And that goes out that way. Oh, this is way too close. Way too close. All right. Well, this is what I get for getting excited about this. Okay, that has to come out to here. Ugh, man, I hate it when I'm wrong. This needed to match up to there. Let's lock the hologram, go around. That works. That's going to be so much easier. And then that just has to be set up here. Default mode, and there you go. That is not what that was supposed to do. Come on. Okay, so those are all set up. They are not wired. My spacebar is angry at me. Let's do that. Let's get these set up. Easiest way to do this is probably just power poles between these two and connect those power poles. I wish I had Mark II power poles. But I don't. Okay, so that's going to go there, that's going to go there, that's going to connect to there, that's going to connect to there, that's going to connect to there, and then one of these has to connect to somewhere else. That is currently... Oh, this is so ugly. This is not really how you're supposed to do this, friends, but it's how we're doing it today. That is going to connect to there. So now all the constructors are good, and we should very quickly see some steel pipes and some steel beams pop into here. If you come in the next couple weeks, you can attend my wedding ceremony. I don't think I can put that together that quickly. Yeah, don't make your wife mad, but sincerely, congratulations on your wedding. And I know you've had a lot of cool stuff that you've been involved with over the past couple years. Very excited always to hear about it. Did the official stuff at the registrar's office last year, so this will be just a ceremony on the 1-year anniversary. Okay. Yeah, so you're getting everything taken care of pretty easily then. Yep, that's working. This should be. Yep. Remember that we need 200 to complete the Mark III logistics. We actually didn't need it for this. I kind of thought we were going to have to, but we managed to do it without it. And this is not a bad early game steel factory, all things considered. The alternate recipe ended up being very, very, very good. Really glad we had that. Oh, hey, Roy. 67 degrees. I don't think Roy is part of that that generation with the brain rot. Oh, if you have me officiate, I wouldn't be a guest. I am not ordained by any religion to conduct marriage ceremonies. Don't worry. Yeah, it's going to be a little while before I have 200 here. Do I want to do... I don't really have the other fancy stuff yet. But I do like the idea of of building a proper factory with like walls and walkways and stuff. I just don't have the stuff for it quite yet. That would probably end right about there with the little stump thing. I mean, honestly, this could definitely be a whole lot worse. Just down on riding the Max Shinkansen, the double-decker. I know they got, oh man, what? I'm trying to remember what line it is in Tokyo that has the green car with the double-decker seats. I want to say Chuo, but that might not be the right one. Yeah, I don't think the ULC is gonna, you know, mesh with Shinto ceremonies. Let's see. We need to get some more pale berries. We probably should go back here, but I want to make sure I can actually have steel. Do I want to try and make a vehicle path? Oh, these don't cost anything to build. They don't cost anything. Oh, I don't have enough modular frames. Okay, I was going to say I could make a truck station, but no. Japanese train lines. Yes, Josh, we have summoned you. 6 hour stream. Oh, I got too much going on right now to do a 6 hour stream. Your brain is turning to oatmeal. You and me both, man. What am I supposed to do about it? I guess I can't have tractors do this yet. Well, at least we know that this is operating now, and it has a pretty... Oh, good. I got enough steel beams. I don't need any more pipes. I'm going to leave these here. But for now, I think we can be pretty okay. All right. Well, you know, we're over 2 hours now. My main goal for today was to get this steel up and running, and we did accomplish that. I think... Oh, I was trying to scroll the map with the WASD. I think it's going to be easy enough for me to just drive through here and not have it be a big deal. And then, yeah, then come across this. I think that's where that is there. Yeah, I don't want to put a truck path yet. But I think maybe we can do that in a future stream. Let's just grab one little bit of... Nope, I see. Oh, come on. Here we go. 250. All right, back we go. Very productive. We can feel very happy about that. What the heck did I just run over? I have no idea what I ran over, but that's fine. Where did I come from? Where did I go? I think it's from over here? Did I come across this? I must have. Yeah, I think so. Technically, ULC ordained minister can officiate a Shinto ceremony. Something tells me that probably wouldn't sit too well with, I don't even know what the terminology is for most Eastern religions, but... Goal number 1, don't make anybody mad. Tends to be a pretty good policy to follow. Yeah, Japanese law requires someone to be a certified Shinto priest. Not surprised. Never got why a religious official mattered outside of preference. The legal part is paperwork. Okay, well, people who are really, really into religion get extremely mad. Sometimes to the point of extreme violence if you don't do things they like. Which, that's a different topic of discussion. Not appropriate for stream, but... just... It is almost always a shouting match in any scenario where you get into arguments with people about that. Can you get a Water Beavers playthrough on Timberpunk 2? Look. I gotta have the time to do it is the first thing. And the second thing is, if I'm making Water Beaver videos, they have to actually be good or no one's gonna watch them. Now I have to be careful not to fall off the thing here. All right. Big old Gary time. What's up, Gary? Quickwire, thank you, Gary. Spitter remains, thank you, Gary. What about Gary 2? Holy crap! These are like tier 9 items, fused modular frames. Gary 1. Do we see Gary 1? Can we reach Gary 1 through this mass of flesh? Let's come around the backside. No, that's Gary 2. That's Gary 4. That's Gary 3. Where's Gary 1? That's Gary 3. Where's Gary 1? That's Gary 2. Where's Gary 1? That is also Gary 2. Where is Gary 1? I just want Gary 1. The OG. Alright, don't make me come in there. There's Gary. Oh, really? Biomass? Come on, man. You gotta do better than that. Okay. Now we have finally gotten out of that mess. Let's put these last things in here. Mark III Logistics is done.
Milestone reached. Improved storage containers and the conveyor belt Mark III provide the obviously necessary tools for improving your current setup. Production speed is of the essence after all. So work hard. Work as if every person you have ever or will ever love is depending solely on the choices that you make. Because they are. Warning. Fix-it psychologists recommend not dwelling on the crushing mental and physical strain of your responsibilities and simply continuing to be productive. Hard work has repeatedly proven to be the best cure for any kind of stress. Now back to work.
Thanks, Ada. Appreciate it. Alright, what's next? Advanced steel production, which gives us Miner Mark II, which renders that factory we just built completely obsolete, because then we can double the input, double the output. But that's going to give us a bunch of cool stuff. We do need the encased industrial beams to do hypertubes, so this probably should be the next thing we do. Ugh, automated wiring. Let's just go ahead and do this. We got the pipes. I do not have 100 modular frames. I do not have 200 rotors. I can't remember if I had this left on rotors or if I had it on... It is on rotors. Alright, so I've got... After all that time, we made 158 rotors. See, like, this is why this takes a billion years. So, I think we can safely leave this alone for a while. I am going to have to end here in a little bit. But I do want to go and get some more concrete. And then, when we get Mark II miners and stuff, I'm going to redo all of that. Okay, so that's going to go there. That's fine. Give me my cables. Not that I need that many of them, but it's always good to have those. Okay, what about wires? I'll just take a full stack. That's fine. Just trying as being a good guest. Yeah, see, that's generally just a good policy to have. Regardless of whether you're going to a different country or somebody else's house or whatever. Just if you're in somebody else's space, respect what they got going on. It's just rule number 1. How far are you from unlocking the Pocket Dimensional Depot? I have to have... I have to get some more SAM, which technically is not super far away. But that just gets the Dimensional Depot uploader. The Pocket one, I think, is somewhere down here. It could be this one in the middle. I don't know exactly. But I don't think I have enough time left the rest of tonight to do that and also, actually function tomorrow. Hello, so sorry I'm late. Oh, you're at the very end of stream. I'm sorry. But we built steel production. We drove all over the top of the map here. Found a bunch of cool stuff. And set up a new steel area. We got an alternate recipe that makes it so much faster and easier to make steel, it's not even funny. And we're currently making, I think it's 120 steel per minute, which is really good for early game with the help of the alternate recipe. And then, oh, I didn't label this. I forget what that was. Oh, that was a bunch of pure iron. I think that was 4 pure iron. Yes, that should have been named 4 times pure iron. There we go. That's 2 times pure iron. Outside of that, we're waiting on advanced steel production. That's going to take a lot of time to get all the modular frames. We almost have enough of these. But I haven't touched this early game basic iron factory in a hot minute, so that is probably a future episode thing. But it is technically working, and we've made some nice progress. The lizard doggos are huge because it's April Fool's Day. The thing is back. Yes, we have been very fortunate with the early game alternate recipe unlocks, especially the one that got rid of the multi-step process for screws. That is huge. That's a great one to have early game. Do I have 200 rotors yet? No, there's no chance I'd have 200 yet. So I had to turn this down because I didn't have enough materials coming in. So that's 4.8 per minute. That's not going to be done anytime soon. But I can put the pipes in, and I can put the concrete in, and that is, you know, it's not technically halfway there, but it's close enough. Now let's see if any of these grotesquely large shrimp things have anything else for us. Ooh, iron rebar, thank you, Gary 2. Gary 3 has pulse nobelisks. Okay, those are fun. I don't have the detonator yet. Gary 3, what about Gary 1? No, it's going to be all Gary 3 over here, isn't it? This gets easier when they're not, you know, enormous. Gary 2. Gary 3. Come on, show me Gary 1. There you go. All right, another one of these. All right, you, Gary 1 is not doing his best work for us today. Streamer rigged the game. Yep, you caught me. I guess I should check and see how many more of these DNA capsules I need for certain research, because I've got 60 of them. That is... oh. Okay, protein inhaler I don't really care for. We haven't made crystal oscillators. Those are quite a ways off. But we have found high-speed connectors, and I could, if I had 500 steel beams, get the extra hand equipment. The respawn toilet is also locked behind these same SAM fluctuators. Caterium, I do not have the raw material. But the zip line is really cool. That is... let me check and see if I have Caterium ore. I have 10. That's not enough. Okay. I'd have to have 50 ore, I think, to get that researched. Yeah. But the zip line's great. And then stun rebar is also good. Way down here, we've got rifle ammo or whatever we can do. Mycelia gets us parachutes and then the gas mask and all that. This, I'm not spending 25 modular frames on that yet. We have not found a purple power slug. Quartz, we need to get a little bit more of that. Sulfur, if I had coal, which I did not bother to harvest while we were over there, I could have made black powder, and then we can get the Nobelisk detonator, which that's a fun thing to play with. That's all we got for right now, folks. I think this is a good time to... you can flush items down the toilet, by the way. Or you can just, you know, hit flush.
I won't question your sanity. I know there's precious little of it.
And then she has a quip about that. But yeah, this is going to be a good spot to probably end for tonight. I appreciate you being here, as always. And I don't know when the next stream of this is going to be, because this is Easter weekend coming up. So I will probably not have time to stream. Depends on what happens, but I'll let you know when we're able to do this. Of course, we've got more beavers coming. We've got the Ant Farm series should be wrapped up within the next couple of weeks. And then hopefully I can get Project 1K done before the end of the month. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Take care, and I'll see you later.